Hey everyone, it's Joshua from Parent ProTech, and today we're talking about your digital footprint. Now that may sound a little boring, but I promise it's not. I have a story. In 2019, Kevin Hart, an American comedian and actor, was planning to host the Oscars. He'd been invited. The Oscars is this big award show, so it was a big deal for him. And as he was preparing for that night when he would be on live television across the US, something happened. Someone found tweets that he had shared 8 years earlier, back in 2011. They were pretty hurtful to one group of people. And when that came out, all of a sudden, Kevin Hart was no longer hosting the Oscars. Now, whether you agree with that or not is beside the point. What I'm trying to highlight here is things that you share on the internet today can come back and haunt you tomorrow. There's this concept called digital permanency. You might be wondering, what does that mean? I'll explain. Digital permanency is the trail of data that follows you and all of your activity on the internet, whether this is active or even passive. What do you mean? I mean, not only things that you post online and things that you share like comments or reactions, but also what you're looking at, what you're buying online, the things and places that you're visiting on the internet. All of this is tracked and all of this information is stored. Now, a lot of people tell me, hey, I don't have to be concerned, I deleted that post, or I covered up those things that I did in the past. And maybe you did. What a lot of people don't know is that there are a lot of archives that have logs of things on the internet. Now, let me explain. An archive, what this means is these are snapshots taken of certain pages. These are certain records that are kept at various websites of activity on those sites at certain dates and times. And there's tons of these logs out there. And even if you delete something, it can still be stored on the internet. That's crazy. That post that you archived on Instagram, there are people in this world that could still find that. At Parent ProTech, we've worked with a lot of smart engineers and developers and people that understand the internet. And I don't tell you this to scare you or make you go home and never want to look at the internet again. No, I just want you to know that when you post something, when you share that picture, when you leave that comment, it can be traced back to you. Even if your account's private, even if it's public and you delete it later, it can be traced back to you. So think twice before you share that thing, before you post that thing. Would I want my grandma seeing this? Would I want my kids one day seeing this? Think about it. We've talked about this in our other videos, but it's so important, I'll say it again. Whatever you share online can come back to haunt you. Now, in the story of Kevin Hart, it was like a professional situation for a job, but for you, this could be maybe one day when you're applying for that job or applying for medical school or whatever you want to do in your future. I guarantee it, the people that are looking at you are gonna scan your social media. They're gonna look at your activity and what you've been sharing online and how it reflects what kind of person you are. When you think about your digital footprint, just think twice before you share anything online or in any digital space. Even if it's a text message or a group message, screenshots can be taken, screen recordings can be shared. And we've heard story after story of activity online affecting students at school, at home, in the legal system, and even in their future. Also, when you're thinking about your digital footprint, one small step that can really make a big difference is thinking about your privacy settings. Are all of your accounts public? Are you sharing everything with the whole entire world? That's probably not the best idea. Maybe change some of those settings to private. Restrict things to your friends or your followers or close friends over sharing things publicly with anyone in the world. We'd encourage you every so often, do a little digital footprint audit. Look at what you've shared. Look at what you've posted. Google yourself. You can even set up a Google alert about yourself. Now what this is you can type in your name or your city, your school, any information related to you, and anytime there's anything published about you that includes those words or your name, you'll be notified. It's crazy, but that's one thing you can do to stay on top of, hey, when people look me up, what are they seeing? What is my digital footprint? There's this perception we have when we use the internet that it's anonymous or it's a step removed from us. But it's so important to remember that, hey, If you would not say that in person, if you would not do that in person, if you would not look that up in person, you probably shouldn't do it online. When you keep that in mind and you live that out, you'll be on the right path. Hey, we're cheering you on.